Hi, this is Shira Rubinoff at AT&T Cybersecurity. I'm here at AT&T Cybersecurity with our new cybersecurity video series. I'm here with Bindu Sandaresan, Director of AT&T Cybersecurity. Bindu, pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. So Bindu, let's talk about security culture within an organization. I do talk a lot about cyber hygiene within an organization. That certainly lends itself to culture within an organization. So cyber hygiene is almost broken down into proper training and training across all denominations, top to bottom, global awareness throughout the organization, updated security and patching, proper OS systems, and zero trust and the like, and we could continue and go on across that. So you've shared before that security is 60% culture and only 40% technology. Why is that?
So you bring up an interesting point about the cyber hygiene, Shira. So like you broke it down into those four elements of it. If you think about every organization, we're all different, right? Every organization has different business goals. It's made up of people of different demographics. We also come from different diversities, and we talk a lot about people working with us now. We have the millennials, we have folks that are digitally native, right, that have used systems all along, and then we have to also think about it in terms of buy-in, right? We talk a lot about you walk into a room full of people and you say, who's responsible for security? You really don't want just one sole CISO raising their hand saying, oh, I'm responsible. We all play a role, right? So think about what we believe in today in terms of access anywhere, access to health records, access to shopping behavior, access to sensitive information. We are used to technology really providing for us in ways that we've never imagined before. So given that, you really have to think about the role cybersecurity plays within your overall culture of an organization in terms of what goals you want to achieve. How is governance, taken care of in terms of data across your organization? Who accesses this data? Who do you share it with? Which third party do you interface with? And I think it all boils back down to the culture of supporting trust and being able to connect with your customer, whoever that may be, right? And to be able to really secure information and provide secure access. So security is not coming from the place of sort of the no or the roadblock, right? We're here to be able to support your organization with the understanding of the culture that persists in your organization. Use the technology and the tools to be able to drive security initiatives that work for your culture. We talk a lot about security awareness and training programs. Yes. The way you train a HR or a finance team for cybersecurity will be different from the way you, let's say, train retail, franchisee model based, employees that work in retail, right? Yeah. So because the type of data that you handle will have a reflection, and the type of demographic that you're dealing with, the type of, sort of temporary employees versus, long-term sensitive information that they see, all those play a factor. So which is why we say, yeah.
Well, I'll take it a step further even. Yeah. When you're talking about the demographics of an organization, as you mentioned, generational. Generational is a massive piece. Yeah. We learn differently. We swallow information differently. Things are more important to us, or we're able to attach ourselves to information in a very different way. If you think about the boomers, the Gen Z, the millennials, all of us. So when it comes to training, it should be training applicable to generation. Obviously, you're not going to say, well, you're this age, this is your training, but making it accessible, having it there, being important, and touching on diversity, which AT&T is very big about, and taking it to understand that it's not just diversity to have for the sake of diversity. Diversity yields diversity of thought and mind, which in turn yields much stronger security.
Yeah, and I think we really bring these different minds together, and when we develop security programs, one of the key things we do is have a discussion with the stakeholder about what sort of a cybersecurity culture and maturity do you have within your organization? Are you typically compliance driven? Are you driven in terms of tools and technologies and innovation? How are your end users really viewing security? Are they viewing it from the point of view of, oh, by mistake I clicked on this phishing email, I'm so scared I don't want to report it to anybody? Or will they have the confidence to be able to come and say, hey, this happened, I clicked on this email.
Or that's part of the open dialogue within the culture. And I think that's one piece that you touched upon that is huge that a lot of organizations are dealing with. There's certainly lots of areas for breaches or things to happen that maybe, let's call it the non-malicious insider, and it's done by accident. But people are afraid to speak up for fear of being pointed out as doing something wrong. But having that culture within the organization that you have that 360 feedback or you have the dialogue is critical, and AT&T certainly, cybersecurity certainly talks about that.
Yes, and we don't want to come from a place of you're right or you're wrong, right? Exactly. It's not that way. It's about, can we improve our cybersecurity measures? Can we reduce our risk exposure? Can we do this all together as a community of users who love the access that we have, who engage with technology like we do? I think this is what the future holds for us, that it's cybersecurity for one and all.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your viewpoints. That was very interesting.
Okay,
and I look forward to more interviews with you here on AT&T Cybersecurity. Thank you, Bindu.
Thank you so much.